Often get on this channel, you know, I drop like a cool little video. I don't say cool, but a helpful video about faith and, you know, basically building yourself up and getting up. And it's just that the reason I make those videos is because if it isn't obvious, the fact that I speak from a place of love and care, even if my words sometimes get jumbled up and if I ramble. It's the fact that because I know what I've been through and, you know, my journey of where I've come so far and where I'm at now. Yes, I'm continuing to grow, and yes, I've been in places where, you know, it was very dark at some point in time. And the fact that I really crawled out of that, not just by myself, you know, we talk about the man upstairs, the king, the father. And the fact that, like, the podcast, Miss Sarah Jakes Roberts podcast, I listened to her sermon today. It basically states, like, we are the daughters and sons of him. We were kings and queens. And in Luke 8, I believe it's verse 49. Y'all know the story of Jairus' daughter. And basically, the sermon was about saying, like I said just previously, girl, get up. I know it's easier said than done. I know it's sometimes hard. And the fact that you probably sit here and pray in desperation to get you out this situation, to put you in a better situation, and you probably feel like, why isn't it happening right now? Because it's in the works for you, sis. It is coming to you. You probably just feel like your faith isn't strong. You feel like your prayers are being heard, but they are being heard loud and clear. Like, I just watched Miley Shay's story time. I'm gonna link it down below. She basically just shared her story, basically saying what I'm saying. Faith, your faith is the most strongest thing in the world, because you have to believe that whatever you're praying for, even if you're praying in the dire need of desperation, even if you're in a shelter right now and you're just sitting here praying that you can get a job that at least pay you $9 so you can at least get on your feet, get you a Section 8, get you a little hoopty just so you can get on your feet. That prayer is being heard and it's being answered. It's just the fact that you have to believe it's yours already. And it took me a long time to be in this position of believing that whatever I pray for, it will come. But don't get it twisted. It ain't gonna just come without you believing, but you also have to work for it. You also have to want it. You have to be hungry for it. You have to be ready to eat at that moment as soon as it comes landing your plate. And I know that could be hard work towards something, especially when you're praying, but take it from me, I never had a job basically about half of my life. My first job was at Dollar General, and I quit that job because it wasn't aligning with me. I was making $7.75 an hour working at Dollar General, and it just wasn't aligning with me. It wasn't bringing me any type of happiness. It's like it was getting paid every Friday, but if you think about it realistically, here, getting paid every Friday, you don't have a lot of hours. I was bringing home, I think, $75 checks, and on a good Friday, I'll bring home like $100-some. Mind you, at this time, I had Ivory. Ivory was about to turn 1. So put that together. No, at the time I wasn't moving out. Nobody was putting me out, nothing like that. But I still wasn't able to buy for her like I wanted to. Yes, I was still buying for her and, you know, treating her like the princess that she is. But it's just, you know, as a mother, you want to give more than what you were already giving. I give Ivory my whole heart if she needs it. So, try not to cry. I quit in January at Dollar General. And when I quit, you know, I felt the relief because I was in school and, you know, I was getting off at 11 o'clock at night. So, yes, I get off at 11 o'clock at night at Fairfield, but at least here I was able to, if I had assignments to do, I could do them here. But working there, it just felt miserable. The customers, it wasn't, you know, the manager and nothing like that. That lady was so sweet. It was just the customers, and then having to, you know, stand up all day. And then the fact that, you know, some of my coworkers didn't really help train me enough, because like I said, that was my first job. Yes, I know how to count money, work a register, but like as far as, you know, putting stuff up, I didn't really get to learn the store like I wanted to, so I can be an active employee. Because when I put my heart into something, I give it extra. And so when I quit, y'all, I was really just praying, because every, like, you know, New Year's Eve, I'll make sticky notes and of goals I want to achieve for the new year. So for 2021, at first, on my sticky note, I put I wanted to work front desk at Courtyard. Applied there, they didn't want to hire me. I could have just, you know, gave up wanting to be a front desk worker completely, but I kept trying. And watching camera. One of my friends, Quisha, she made a post on Snapchat stating that this hotel was hiring for front desk. Mind you, this was around the time where me and my mom here got into it, and I looked a mess. Ivory looked a mess. I had put Ivory in the car. We came here. I put her on my hip. Asked dude at the front desk, "Hey, can I get an application?" At the time, I didn't know we could walk out there with it, but I literally went in my car, applied, brought it back in no later than, I think it was 10 minutes or something like that, 10, 20 minutes. Brought it back, I think, and then I started calling up here, and I got an interview. This was in April. I got an interview, you know, then after my interview with the assistant manager and then the manager, got the email, and I got the job. Now, when I tell you, I was so ecstatic, I cried, and mind you, I never worked as a front desk clerk. So you can imagine, you know, my just excitement to just have this job, you know, just to make money. It wasn't even about the money, just to be able to take care of my child without having to ask, you know, my mom, can she buy this for her, or anything like that. And don't get me wrong, I'm very appreciative of my mom and dad for helping provide for her at the time where I couldn't provide for her financially. But it just felt so good. And backtracking to the sticky notes, a lot of those sticky notes had a lot of personal things on them. And another thing was, I manifested, I prayed to get my own apartment in 2021. I don't know when it was going to come, but I knew I wanted it in 2021. So I was already stacking my money up. And I just, you know, like I be telling people, it doesn't hurt to apply. So I applied at the apartment that I, you know, just was seeking out. And then I got the call to finish more paperwork. And then I want to say in August, she said I got approved, but we needed to wait to see if a unit was going to become available. Then I got the call in October. A unit became available. And when I tell y'all, I cried. Because it's just like, this is about to be my responsibility, mine, and I prayed for this. And I didn't give up on it. I believed all these things were going to be mine. And so, that's how I feel about YouTube. I know I started my channel back around 2016 posting. A lot of those videos are on private. I'll probably post them back up on public. But I feel like this time around with YouTube, it's something different, because this is something I really want. This is something that I really am thriving for. But I'm going to do a little story time one day, probably this week, about basically my life story, because we're still writing the story. I'm only 23, but I just want to give y'all like this short version of what has been going on for almost the past 3 years with me. But Yeah, I'm still at work. So I'm gonna see y'all about 2 more hours.
Do you remember?